We are wrestling.
Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling Podcast. We Are Wrestling Podcast.
Let's flip and go.
You're watching We Are Wrestling.
I'm the host with the most.
You are by far the least intelligent.
What is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs. Ben here, one half of the We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling Podcast.
Make sure to subscribe, baby.
We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie here with...
What is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs. It has been Uncle Ben, America's favorite uncle, one half of the We Are Wrestling podcast. And today we got a pretty stacked show for y'all. It's been quite a week, and it's always exciting in the wrestling world, and we got exciting things to talk to you about. But before we talk about what that is and what we're doing, Don, take it away, buddy.
It's always an exciting week when somebody's having a meltdown on Twitter or X. But before we get into all of this good stuff, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're listening to the podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episodes. But if you have not checked out the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know, the grind is real. Booyah! And if you want to go the extra mile and you're looking for exclusive content and, you know, some exclusive perks to becoming a We Are Wrestling Maniac on our Patreon, or a We Are Wrestling Legend, or a We Are Wrestling Main Eventer, you can go subscribe to the Patreon page for this month only, because normally our Legend tier is $10 a month. That's how you enter the giveaways. But for the first 3 months, we decided that we're going to let anybody that joins, that becomes a We Are Wrestling Maniac, which is only $3 a month, be a part of the giveaway. And this month, we're giving away WWE 106 Jey Uso figure, brand new in the package. Great figure with the red attire from the Survivor Series that you and I went to, Ben.
Yeah. Bloodline.
Yes, sir. So, Ben, I got to ask you, how's your week been before we get into the highlights?
How has my week been? Eventful, I guess. Very busy. A lot of productivity and everything. Also some sickness in the household. Not for me, but you know, when Ash gets sick, she gets sick as hell. So it's been pretty eventful. But other than that, we're surviving. We're surviving every day by day, motherfucker. Day by day. How was your week, man?
Pretty good, I'd say. Pretty good. So, guys, I've been dealing with this annoying cough for the last 3 weeks, and I finally decided to, you know, go get it checked out. And I, you know, just am dealing with bronchitis right now, which is very common for people that live in the New England area. So, you know, I'm finally on some antibiotics. We are getting better now. And I actually just watched Twisted Metal for the first time.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, bro. Twisted Metal is a really, really good show. And I told you like a long time ago, right when the show dropped, dude, you have to watch this, dude. You have to watch this if you have fucking Peacock, which obviously I know you do. You have to watch this. It's a fucking killer show. And it stars our very own Samoa Joe. So our AEW World Champion. So the fuck you doing, man? Why did it take you this long? Why did it take you this long? Talk to me.
So Mohegan Sun, they do this, you know, Comic-Con. It's called Terrificon. Every, you know, in the summertime every year. And they announced Samoa Joe was going to be appearing. And I was very excited because Samoa Joe is somebody I have been wanting to meet for years. But now that I just watched the Twisted Metal series, like I am actually tempted on getting a Sweet Tooth picture signed at this point.
Yeah,
That's
same,
how good I
same.
enjoyed this series.
I need that framed in my house. So yes, that's why we're going this year. 100%. Like I'm going, I'm not missing that opportunity. I want a Sweet Tooth sign fucking whatever because it's getting framed. I need a poster of his
I am
Sweet
going to
Tooth.
tell you this as well, Ben. I might as well get your live reaction to this.
What
So
up?
I told our buddy, Cash Out Sherm, about Samoa Joe, coming to Mohegan Sun. And he went on, a rant through messages. And he is going to be dressing up as Sweet Tooth at Terrificon.
Sherm?
Bobby Sherman
Sherm
is
is?
dressing up as Sweet Tooth. That's how excited he is for this opportunity.
Bro, I swear to God, I will be all over that, dude. Like, and dude, yes, I'm really excited to even go with somebody dressed up as Sweet Tooth, dude. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. I'm really excited, dude.
Yeah,
Wow.
for the first time, I know I'm very late to the party, but guys, I enjoyed, Twisted Metal, and I never played the game when I was younger. So
I told you, man, it had no filler either. It was just every episode was great.
here's the thing: at first, it was a little slow, but then it picked up. It went from 0 to 100, and I was totally invested. The soundtrack was, my God, one of the best soundtracks.
So, you saw every episode, right?
Every episode, all 10.
What was one of your favorite scenes? I gotta ask.
Dude, dude, all of Samoa Joe's Sweet Tooth scenes were perfect. I loved the whole Las Vegas thing.
You know that's not
when-
Samoa Joe's voice, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me, I thought it was because he always does the deep voice.
It's
but
Will
then,
Arnett,
throughout
yeah.
the show, I realized. Oh wait, actually, no. There is one scene I forgot. Was
What
the voice actor of Big Mouth there, Jay?
Jay,
when he sniffed the
should I
cocaine.
eat this guy? Should I fuck this guy? As he's beating Anthony Mackie's ass.
That was great. Such a great show.
Yeah,
Guys,
dude.
if you have not checked out Twisted Metal and you're late to the party like myself, highly encourage you to.
Fix
we
that.
all know you're listening to this podcast, so you definitely have Peacock, so there's no excuses there. But Ben, what is your highlight of the week?
So, my highlight of the week segment is actually a segment. So, my
Better
favorite
not be
thing.
Tony Khan's meltdown.
No, that's not a segment. That's
That-
like total drama island on X. So no, I don't want to fucking no. We're talking about that later.
Main
But
event.
my favorite thing about this week was probably Drew and CM Punk. Was probably my favorite thing about this week, and it showed how much CM Punk still got it, and how much the crowd is still and WWE's universe is still very much behind CM Punk. But it also showed Drew McIntyre's growth as a top dude, and his promo skills, his mic skills, and sincerity. I'm excited, man, because now that we're CM Punk's treading on many fucking waters here. He's on Seth's fucking radar. He's on fucking Drew McIntyre's radar. He's in, dude. Knowing that he's gonna be in the Rumble is nuts, and both of them in the Rumble is because here's the thing. This is unfortunately the first year where I'm fucking rooting for everybody. I don't know who the fuck I want to win at this point because I wouldn't
This
be
Rumble's
mad if Drew
stacked.
won. I wouldn't be mad if CM Punk won. I wouldn't be mad if Cody Rhodes won for a fucking second time. I don't know. I wouldn't give a fuck if somehow LA Knight fucking won. I wouldn't give a fuck if somehow, there's so many people that I don't care who wins that it's exciting. And this was a segment that really sold that on me because I could really believe both of them winning. I
And
could really
that is
believe either one winning.
That's exactly what I have to say here. I totally agree with you on that because Drew McIntyre is making it so believable.
Yeah,
And that's
man.
what I'm really liking about all of this. And right now, man, Drew McIntyre is doing some of the best work. And I seriously hope in 2024 he does get the World Heavyweight Championship because he really held his own with CM Punk in that ring. And Drew McIntyre, hasn't always been the best with promos throughout his career. He's definitely improved, but being in the ring with one of the best, the voiceless, on the microphone, he really held his own. And honestly, that's a great highlight of the week.
It's still fucking weird seeing CM Punk with Drew McIntyre in the middle of a fucking WWE ring live on TV. That's still I'm still reeling in from that and accepting that that's reality now. Just knowing that we just saw him on AEW not too long ago, and he hasn't been in WWE in 10 years, and nobody thought that that was ever going to happen again for a while because it really felt set in stone. So anything CM Punk right now in WWE is kind of like a soft spot for me. So I'm just like, this is fucking weird. Because like I've been preaching it. I was like, dude, he's gonna end up in WWE, like almost like
Yep,
effective
same
immediately
here.
the moment he fucking came back. I was like, yep, he's WWE bound, even though he popped up in AEW. I was just like, he's gonna show up in WWE soon.
Everybody, they always
Like,
they always come home. That's
they
just
always
how
do.
it is.
They always keep coming back, man. They always keep coming back. Like if we're talking about another superstar who really wants to come back later on in the podcast too. So
I
it's
can't wait for
it's
that
exciting,
one.
and that's the thing. It's a real possibility. We're in Rumble season, baby. We got 2 weeks.
Yes,
We got 2 weeks, so
do. And
there's so much.
Speaking of the Royal Rumble, guys, we're gonna be live Saturday, January 27th for the WWE Royal Rumble watch along. Probably our biggest watch along of the year.
Yeah.
We have the most people in person, and it's just gonna be a great time. And here's what I do want to say about, CM Punk before I give you guys my highlight of the week. I gotta say, with AEW and CM Punk, I feel like all of us that cover professional wrestling content, I'm talking about all of, the legends who paved the way, all of, the wrestlers that have podcasts, even us, diehard We Are Wrestling Maniacs. I think we all owe CM Punk an apology for blaming him for, the problems in AEW. Because if one thing, that's taught me this week is, yeah, CM Punk is not the problem.
No.
So I do want to
No, not at
apologize to
all.
the best in the world, CM Punk, for all the criticism that we gave him
Yeah.
on this podcast.
Especially me.
So happy he's home.
I feel like a dick because a lot of my shit did not age well. It aged like rotten milk, and honestly, I will take that L humbly. I'll take it.
I'll take the L as well. I'm rooting for CM Punk, and I'm so happy to see
I'll
him
admit when I'm
just
wrong.
generally happy being back. And like any segment CM Punk is in, people are invested right now.
People are
and there's
tuned
so
in.
many possibilities, and that's when you get the best storylines, you get the best wrestling television, is when you have all of these different, options. So like we might be seeing Drew McIntyre and CM Punk down the line. We know we're getting CM Punk and Seth Rollins probably at WrestleMania. And they're just building more storylines out of it, and it's great television.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, there's so much to wonder about in the future too. Like it's if we get CM Punk and Seth Rollins, how's Rollins gonna feel losing the title to CM Punk, somebody he genuinely hates? Like what's that effect gonna have for him on the company? Like what's that effect gonna have in his heart? So, it's an interesting season, and it's a very interesting industry, so to speak, because there's a lot of these scenarios that genuinely do bleed into real life and could affect their relationship with the company, dude. It happens all the time. We've seen it,
You see here, one hot take that I do have, and I'll save it for, I'm not going to save it for, hot takes, which by the way, guys, if you haven't checked out, the latest episode of Hot Takes, I, talked about the entire Tony Khan situation, which will be our main event topic because more stuff has come out. But here's a little hot take. I really think that, CM Punk isn't going to beat Seth Rollins the first time. I think that Rollins will
You
retain
think
the
we're gonna
championship.
get a series of 3?
I think so, because CM Punk, I think all he really wants,
It's the main
yes,
event
he's gonna want to
WrestleMania.
win. He's gonna want to win a championship at some point, but he wants that main event match at Mania, and
Which
think
I'm shocked
he's
he
gonna
never
be
had.
okay. I think right now CM Punk is trying to make amends with everybody, and I think he's gonna be okay putting Seth
Oh no,
Rollins
for
over.
sure. See, and here's the thing, and like I
Because not
agree
everybody
100%.
is going. And wait, I'm sorry for interrupting, but
No, you're good.
I think towards Mania season, because we always think it's the finale, so we're always going to be getting new champions, and that's why sometimes I have to, put the fantasy, hat to the table, to the side, because as much as I want to see all these new champions, I think realistically, we're going to have some people that retain their titles, and I think
Oh, for sure.
Rollins might be one of them.
Oh, for sure. And
unless Damian cashes in.
dude, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, man. Like, I 100% am on board with everything you said. Like, I am completely behind that. I think that he's at a point now where it's like, yeah, he's had an illustrious career in WWE alone. So I'm like, dude, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten that main event shot already, because he's had some illustrious fucking storylines with big fucking, big titles. And it is kind of shocking that's like the one thing he hasn't done, and won a Royal Rumble. So it's a very big possibility that CM Punk's winning it this year. But I'm really excited to see who he's going to be, holding up against. That's the exciting thing about Rumble season is we don't know, baby. We don't know.
We don't know. But the thing is, with CM Punk, imagine years ago when CM Punk, was in WWE, like we're talking 2012, 2013, when he probably should have main evented WrestleMania. Imagine we didn't have these 8-hour manias and like we had the night 1 and the night 2, because Punk technically probably would have main evented a WrestleMania if that happened. So having, 2 nights of WrestleMania, the real possibility of CM Punk getting his wish to be the last match on the card for WrestleMania is a real possibility. And I am very excited for that.
Hell yeah, man. It's really
long overdue.
It's going to be really, really awesome to see CM Punk at WrestleMania in that huge fucking stadium. And dude, it's going to be nuts, man. Like, I'm really excited about Mania season. I'm really excited that, we're finally kicking it off, and it's a whole new chapter. Stars are born, history repeats itself, some history is rehashed, and it's fucking awesome. And I'm really, really excited about it.
So my highlight of the week, you guys all know how excited I am for TNA Wrestling Hard to Kill, which later on, when the podcast comes out, I will be live. And I think, our buddy Ricky Knows Best will be here with me during the watch along. Man, my highlight of the week has got to be these new TNA Wrestling Championship designs. Like,
yeah, man.
These titles, and a lot of the times when, there are championships, there's, some that, we love. Like, for me, I have the AEW replica title, behind me. I love that championship. But then there's other titles that we're just not fans of, like, the WWE Tag Team Champions right now. Nobody likes the designs for those. Yeah. And, TNA, I gotta say, all 5 champions, as we're recording this podcast, I love each and every design that we got with these titles.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking
look
sick.
at this Knockouts title. Like, that is,
dude, that's gorgeous.
All nostalgia.
That's gorgeous,
the first. They had the white strap, and
it
for
looks
the first
really,
title.
really good. It looks really good on Trinity too.
Looks so good. And then Alex Shelley, the World Heavyweight title, another one that just looks absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because the World Championship, like, to me, I feel like,
it needs to be the centerpiece, man. And it really is. It's representing.
It needs to have meaning. And that championship right there is a title that
looks prestigious.
If you're the champion, like, you should be proud to be carrying TNA wrestling on your back. That's like the vibe like I'm getting with this new title.
Now
and
they
then
just
you got
need a
the
TV
digital
deal.
media champion. We got 53-year-old Tommy Dreamer holding it, but still such a nice championship.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Like,
man.
all they need is a TV deal, and they're
And
sold.
then the tag titles, they got the red strap.
It looks good, bro.
So good. And then the first championship, dude, like, I was so scared because the X Division champion, the only design I ever liked for it was the original NWA TNA X Division.
Yeah.
But this design for the X Division championship is also incredible. So, this week, surprisingly, it's not a segment that I watched on TV. It's got to be the new belt designs, because I've not seen a company like hit it out of the ballpark with every championship they revealed. So, with that being said, let's dive into the We Are Wrestling weekly recap for the We Are Wrestling podcast, episode 91. So, our first recap for this week's episode, last Friday on SmackDown, Nick Aldis announced a fatal 4-way match for the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship. Roman Reigns will be defending his title versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight, versus Randy Orton. What's your thoughts on this match happening at the Royal Rumble? I'm excited. You're excited. Oh, man. I love how we're like going to be talking about all the great things first, and then we're going to get into some depression towards the end.
That's all I got.
I predicted it.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, not only am I excited that, it's looking like a real possibility that he might lose it. It's looking like a real possibility.
Now is the time because you could still protect him and have somebody pin somebody else. I hope it happens.
Yeah, you could. We might be seeing some involvement with The Rock. We might finally get a drop title. We might get a new champion finally, and I'm loving how everybody that I love is and want in that match is in it now.
It's an all-star match.
There's going to be interference, but there's also going to be some hopeful interference on the other side too, so I'm kind of cool with it. It's going to be a match that keeps us up on our toes. If any time's to pull the trigger, it's now. I know that people are like, oh, they're going to break the Hogan record, and that's a very big possibility, but I would love him to drop it at the Rumble because he doesn't need a title for Rock versus Roman. He doesn't want the fucking title. He wants the shit around his neck. That's it. And honestly, I want that. So I'm really excited. And for once, it's not a one-on-one that we know is going to be bullshit. It's a fatal four-way, which we don't see. And everybody in the match is stacked. The only rising star in it is fucking LA Knight, but he's already still super fucking hot. He's been hot as fuck for almost a year now. So, and there's no letting up on the gas. They're still pushing the fuck out of him. He is in a massive match at one of the big five right now, dude. This dude is cooking, and I'm really excited, for this match. There's so many possibilities, and I'm really hyped to see. And it's a main event worthy match. I'm gonna be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised rather if they put this after the Rumble. The Rumble, then this match. I wouldn't be surprised because it's gonna be massive, bro, because it's gonna take away from the Rumble if it's before. So I think that
Well, we
big.
know that the opening match is either going to be the women's or the men's Rumble. And then we already know, towards the end will be, the other match.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, man, it's a big match.
Because as long as, you separate the two Rumbles, you don't have them back to back, it's good for, us viewers. But I got to say, man, Triple H, very smart in this situation because he knows how over LA Knight is. So let's just throw him in, the WWE Universal title picture so that we don't have to put him in the Royal Rumble. That is actually a very smart booking decision because I think realistically, we're getting LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship at Mania. LA Knight gets that moment. I think, going in the Rumble next year, he wins it, goes on to WrestleMania 41. He gets that John Cena moment like Cena got at Mania 21.
Yeah.
But I got to say this. I wanted this to happen. And I am so happy that my prediction, my wish came true. Because when they announced that triple threat match for number one contenders, you
knew it was going to happen.
I was actually
they're all deserving.
I'm not going to lie to you. I actually didn't think it was going to happen. I was depressed when, Nick Aldis said, we're having a triple threat match. I'm like, no, Nick, no. We need a fatal
Shout out to Nick
Rumble.
Aldis, by the way. He's killing it too.
I know he's not putting guys who have been on a losing streak for over a year in the title picture. So Nick Aldis is a better GM than Adam Pearce. I said it. But we'll get into that later on in the show. But man, for the Rumble, this is a big match. This is what you want for a premier live event. This is worth paying for. And anything can happen in a fatal four-way match. You never know the outcome, even though realistically, Roman's probably going to retain it. He's either going to lose it at the Chamber, Mania, or, he's going to go on beating Hulk Hogan's streak, which we all don't want to happen.
Yeah.
But the whole, different scenarios and the outcomes, that's what makes this match so exciting. And I'm not going to lie, I did want to see Randy versus Roman. I know that was, the reports that were coming out, but this is just like, we haven't had a fun all-star fatal four-way match, in a long freaking time.
Yeah.
So I'm actually very excited for this. And dude, this Rumble might be one of the best Rumbles of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
But moving on now to WWE's, competitor AEW. Last Saturday on Collision, Hook called out Samoa Joe for a shot at the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And this past Wednesday on Dynamite, Swerve, Hangman, and, Hook came out and they want a shot at Samoa Joe. And Hook told Samoa Joe 1 week. So there are speculations that we're getting this match, pretty soon. What's your thoughts on Hook being Samoa Joe's first opponent for the belt?
This is going to be short and sweet. And I'm going to just get right to it. It's going to be a David and Goliath situation. Joe is going to beat the holy shit out of Hook. I'm sorry, but the size difference alone is going to say it all. I think Hook's going to have a really, he's going to have a really good spot in the match. I think he's going to have a couple high spots. He's going to, showcase some strength, so to speak. But to take it, no. Nope. It's going to be short. It's going to be a very quick bookend. I honestly don't understand it. I like that Hook's, really getting some time to shine. They're really pushing him in a way right now, but let's see how long it lasts because I just don't want him to be squashed.
Yeah, I really hope in this situation, it is that real, David and Goliath, because I don't want Hook to get squashed. I think he's a great, tremendous, professional wrestler. And that's why, as an AEW fan myself, I get so frustrated a lot with a lot of these talent that aren't being booked right. And Hook, I feel like, is the perfect example. We talk about the streak that he's had. He is 28-1, only lost one match in his, AEW run so far. And, he's been in the business now for 3 years. And a lot of these matches that he's had have been, squash matches, because that's how, they wanted to build the Hook character up. And then, they started throwing him in random goofy tag teams with Danhausen and Orange Cassidy.
That was weird.
I felt like, yes, the chemistry was there, but for somebody like Hook, like, he should be focusing on the TNT championship. He should be focusing on the international championship.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't had a real marquee storyline in his AEW run so far. And that's why, for me, I'm like, I love that we're going to be getting a Hook versus Joe program, but I wish that we got an actual solid storyline with Hook, with somebody for that.
Yeah, I got you.
Because I kind of want to see Hangman Adam Page and, Swerve. I really want to see Swerve in the AEW world title picture.
No, of course. That would be more worthy, I feel like, because I feel like it's kind of his time now.
It's definitely his time.
Yeah,
I do agree.
I feel like it would be a good feud too.
Hook deserves a shot. The record does speak for itself, but I wish they would just add more, to him. I feel like there's some stuff missing. But moving on now, back to, the competitor, WWE. This past Monday on Raw, Seth Rollins got interrupted by the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. And next week on Raw, Mahal will be going for the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth, despite not winning a singles match since, pretty much 18 months ago. His last, match that he's actually had was at a house show against Bray Wyatt in December of 2022. 18 months ago, his last TV match was against Julius Creed on NXT in a losing effort. Do you think Mahal deserves a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship?
No. Next subject.
Are you happy, though, that he's at least getting TV time?
I honestly don't care. Honestly, I just don't find him connection worthy with the audience. I think that his WWE Championship win was kind of a fluke. I don't know. I don't know. He got in really good shape. He reinvented himself, but he's just not connecting with the audience, man. And that's a big thing to being a fucking champion. and he just does not have that connection.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
Why you
listen. I
gotta leave me
respect
on
him,
this lonely
but
island?
yeah, you're gonna be on that lonely island, man. I don't have much belief in gender.
I
bro.
loved his WWE Championship run in 2017 because it was something that nobody expected to happen, and like he really, really became a superstar in that. And I'm happy that he is getting back on TV, but I'm not really happy that he's getting a World Heavyweight Championship match when, the past couple of years he's been, getting squashed. And, pretty much I think he's been managing Veer Mahan and his tag partner
Mhm.
for the
Yeah.
last, year. So it doesn't really make sense. Like, I understand he was in, a big segment with The Rock, which I was really happy that, he got that opportunity because I feel like he deserves it. And now he is, being talked about, trending on Twitter all week long. And that's
For
all
the
thanks
worst
to,
reasons,
our
though.
main event topic. But, with Jinder Mahal, I think that he should be, kind of racking up those wins. Like, if they really want him to be back in this title picture, give it time. Let him, build up some wins, maybe win a number one contenders match. Because here's what I'm worried about. Seth Rollins. We are a few weeks away from the Royal Rumble. Who's Seth Rollins facing?
I don't know.
And
It
yeah,
seems like a
man,
fluke, man. Like they
that's
just
my
don't know how to book
problem.
him.
Like, why are we throwing Seth Rollins in random matches
And on Raw, not even on a pay-per-view. Like it's weird, man. I don't know. Like I said, I'm good with it.
I feel like the first match of, 2024, maybe they should have saved Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the Rumble. Give it more time to build, but we're like almost 2 weeks away from the Rumble, and Rollins has no direction right now.
Yep.
And pretty much, I feel like us fans, the last thing I'll say about this is us fans, basically, we're going to come off as hypocrites because Roman Reigns didn't wrestle at the Survivor Series. And I know you and I, we had a big problem with that because we feel like world champions, they should be defending their titles at, the premier live events. So if Seth Rollins, isn't defending the title at the Rumble, then it's like, well, we came at Roman, but, we're not going to come at Seth. And that makes us, hypocrites.
Yeah.
But we're going to just have to wait and see what happens. But our last, weekly recap this week, this past Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, we saw the return of your favorite tag team of all time, the Young Bucks. And they went face-to-face with Darby Allin and Sting. There's reports that AEW Revolution, it will be the Young Bucks versus Darby and Sting for Sting's final match. What's your thoughts on this?
It's going to be Darby versus Sting for his final match?
Nope. The last match for Sting, it is going to be a tag team bout. I guess according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, I guess Sting, feels more comfortable, doing a tag match for, his last match than singles. So it's going to be Darby and Sting versus the Young Bucks.
Oh, God, dude. All right. Yeah. Cop out. Yeah, no. I have nothing good to say about it. I think it's a fucking absolute, like, toilet paper ass wipe to the legacy of Sting. I feel like it's kind of a shit show. I have nothing more to add. I just think it's a cop out.
So the only thing that, I'm going to say from like a positive side to this, there's only one thing I can really say, and that's
Darby.
Well, yeah, Darby's there with Sting. I do like that because, they have, been together in AEW since, Sting's arrival at Winter is Coming. The Young Bucks, they do get, a lot of criticism and, hate from, the IWC.
They're boring as fuck.
Because obviously with all the drama that, they get themselves into. But at least Sting is going in the ring with two safe workers because the Young Bucks, they are known for being safe workers. And, the last thing we want is Sting to get injured. So that's the only pro I can really say about this. The Young Bucks return was very lackluster. Like the reaction, I couldn't believe the reaction. Like I literally heard a cricket fart.
Bro. Yeah, dude. It's nobody cares anymore, dude. There has-beens.
Yeah.
It's true, man. There has-beens, bro.
I think that, like, if there's anybody that could give Sting a really good last match, would be, you know, the Young Bucks versus Darby and Sting. I
Yeah.
definitely think that the match is going to be great. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are going to go into it with low expectations.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, it is going to surprise a lot of people how good it's going to turn out. And I really hope that, you know, Sting definitely, you know, gets that moment that he wants. And I hope that this was a Sting decision, which I feel like it was. But I don't know, man. We're going to have to wait and see on that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that, you know, I had to disappoint you with, you know, the news of the
It
Young
is what
Bucks.
it is. It just, I'm not surprised. It's AEW. It's garbage. AEW is just garbage now, bro. It's unfortunate, but I have no faith in them anymore.
What about Adam Copeland?
That's the only thing I have faith in with the company. That's the only thing I care about. Other than that, I don't care. Other than Samoa Joe, I don't
Yeah, because
care.
there's a lot of fans from last Saturday for Collision that actually were upset that, you know, Adam Copeland, he comes back, he issued an open challenge,
And then you get this weird ass dude that was part of the
Griff
Varsity
Garrison,
Blondes. Yeah, no,
who is like
nobody
a
cares.
taller version of Jungle Boy.
Yeah, dude, nobody fucking cares, and it's fucking stupid. Like I said, AEW's garbage, bro. I have no faith anymore.
And then there was really some AEW fans too. This is what shocked me. They were trying to compare Grayson Waller to Griff
No,
Garrison.
okay, all right, let's move the fuck on because now I'm just feeling the retard set in now. I'm sorry, but like I feel myself getting more and more retarded talking about it.
And I'm gonna, you know, I do want, but can I give my quick thoughts on that comparison, please? I need to.
Sure.
Why are we comparing Griff Garrison, who gets squashed? I believe his whole AEW run, he's been, you know, a jobber. And we're comparing him to Grayson Waller, who, yes, Grayson Waller does not really pick up wins, but he's on TV regularly. He's there every Friday on SmackDown. And, like, he's actually, you know, doing a whole, you know, Grayson Waller effect show. And he's got the charisma. He is talented. And I can tell you right now that Grayson Waller match with Edge was 10 times better than the Griff Garrison one.
Yeah.
But guys, up next, we have our comment of the week. And of course, the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. We'll be right back with more We Are Wrestling podcast, episode 91. What is up, Best Ones Worldwide? It's the Best One, Donnie here, and you're watching and listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast. Collecting has always had a special place in my heart, going all the way back to when I was a kid. I remember my parents taking me to Toys R Us and waking up on Christmas morning to a bunch of new action figures. I had bins filled with thousands of rare WWE, WCW, ECW, and TNA figures through the years until, unfortunately, I ended up selling my whole childhood without knowing the true value of my collection. 2 years after I made that horrible decision, the pandemic hit, and I realized there was a part of me that felt missing, and that was collecting. My whole life, I have loved collecting wrestling figures, wrestling memorabilia, classic video games, Nickelodeon stuff, sneakers, Funko Pops, and even Angry Birds. As time went by, I decided I wanted to get back into collecting, except this time, document it and rebuild my collection over on Best One Donnie. So, if you want to go back into time and relive my nostalgic memories, subscribe now. We're back, and every week we do this thing called the Comment of the Week. And if you want to get your comment featured on a future episode of the We Are Wrestling podcast, all you gotta do is, follow us over on our social media pages, or, subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave a comment on anything that we're doing. And this week, we have one of our We Are Wrestling members over on our YouTube page, at Angelo Rodriguez 1686, and he commented this on the reaction to Jinder Mahal versus Seth Rollins, and he said, and I quote, Donnie, I don't know why you liked Jinder Donnie, I don't know why you liked Jinder Mahal's title run, but I am not mad at Jinder going for the world title, but They will have the title match on Raw next week, so this will probably be it for Jinder for months. Again, with Donnie, they do have history because Seth beat Jinder in the finals to be the first ever NXT champion. Which, I gotta probably explain, my fandom for Jinder Mahal, because it's not only Angelo that's been asking this. He's just, the member, so he's got to be the comment of the week. I don't know. I just love natural heels, and Jinder Mahal is a natural heel. And I feel like in 2017, like SmackDown Live, like they were just doing a great job, with, rebuilding a lot of the talent that they have. And, Mahal, I just really liked that, the Bollywood boys were with him, and like the matches that he was putting on were great. His physique changed. And it's always good to see somebody, and like for me, because I'm rooting for, professional wrestlers and sports entertainers. So to see them being able to like go from like being in a jobber faction like 3MB to, winning the WWE championship. And I'm talking Drew McIntyre too, because he, also throughout his career, had to, put people over. I love the underdog story. So to see somebody like Mahal getting, an opportunity to like hold like the holy grail that a lot of people like, haven't held, I'm happy for him. And I don't know, I just enjoyed it. But congratulations to Angelo Rodriguez on the comment of the week. If you want to get your comment featured here on, a future episode of the podcast, go, comment on some of our posts over on the social media pages. We're going to be picking more of those throughout the year, or, continue to comment over on the YouTube page. But with that being said, let's get into the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. Starting things off, one of your favorite wrestlers, Ben, Jeff Hardy, isn't thrilled to be on AEW Rampage. Wednesday on Instagram, Jeff posted this. And it was a picture basically of the graphic of AEW Dynamite. And he said, "We, the Hardys, will not be appearing on the live show called AEW Dynamite. We, the Hardys, are stuck in the dimensions of AEW Rampage." What's your thoughts on the lack of booking for Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy?
I mean, this is kind of like a double-edged sword. And again, it's going to be short and sweet. One, Tony Khan has sucked dick about booking them this entire fucking time they've been there. I mean, other than Matt, really, since he got there.
I don't know, man. They've been pretty bad with Matt, too.
Two, well, I said I'm talking about when he first got there. Two, you can't really trust Jeff anymore. He's kind of soiled opportunity, and like, it's unfortunate that we're here now. Like, you were given ample opportunity and you still fucked it up, and that's unfortunately on you. However, AEW is known for horrendous fucking booking in the first place. Like, did you really think out of this ocean of other huge fucking stars that Tony Khan has that you were going to stick out any higher just because you're Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy? Like, I get it. I get the frustrations, but at the same time, it's, again, a double-edged sword. It's on both of them. It's on both of the company and the Hardys, And I can't really feel bad in this particular situation. I can't, All I can say is stick it out till your contracts run out. You made some noise on the indies, and maybe hope that WWE brings you back for your final run. That's all I can really say. Like, I'm a huge Hardys fan, that everybody knows I'm a huge Hardys fan, but as a huge Hardys fan, their time in the sun is kind of gone now. They should, again, just wait it out and hope that they can have one last decent run in WWE before it's over.
And that's the thing, with Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. It's unfortunate because, they do have legendary careers, obviously first-class Hall of Famers, and they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. There's no debating that. But I don't feel bad for Jeff Hardy in this situation. Like, I still wish him nothing but the very best, but he walked out on WWE at that live event. And now that things aren't going his way and he's not getting the opportunities that he wants, he's, taking shots at AEW, on, Matt Hardy's podcast. He's taking shots on them, with social media, which by all means, you have freedom of speech. You should be able to express how you feel, like whatever way you want. But it doesn't look good at all for Jeff because, you walked out during a WWE live event and now you're trying to create this tension that you want to go back to WWE and finish your run. But I do feel like, it is a double-edged sword because AEW, if you're just going to have the Hardys on Rampage where only 100,000 people are watching it a week and they're probably DVRing it, let's be real. You might as well, move on from the Hardys, save yourself some money because I'm sure the Hardys are getting paid very well just to wrestle on Rampage. They could be using that, for other, investments and, bringing in other talent that, they could use because what I've noticed in 2023 is AEW is, going down, right now they're stuck. They want to do, the storylines and stuff, but then they're more going into that, combat sport, New Japan wrestling style. And the Hardys just don't fit that style whatsoever. They've been known for, being sports entertainers their whole careers. And honestly, I would love to see the Hardys, show up in TNA for a little bit, do it right, and then go back to WWE and, close the chapter in their in-ring careers. It just sucks that, we don't get to see them because they are very talented. They deserve to be on TV. But at the same time, with Jeff Hardy's, incidents that's happened and, the past, it's very hard to rely on the Hardys.
Yeah.
But moving on now to the next topic here, somebody that we haven't really heard much from, somebody that we grew up watching in the Ruthless Aggression era. Earlier this week, Chris Masters, the Masterpiece, released a video on his Instagram saying this. And we do have the audio, so Ben, let's hear what Chris Masters has to say.
Kind of, see what's out there for me. I have had the last couple of years I've been at NWA. Kind of, see what's out there for me. I have had the last couple of years I've been at NWA. Kind of, see what's out there for me.
Botch.
I have had the last couple of years I've been at NWA.
You suck.
Wow.
Yeah, it just cuts off.
The one time I wanted to actually play some audio, I can't. I completely botched it. So pretty much the Masterpiece, Chris Masters, he basically said this. Good thing we're not live, pal. Chris Masters pretty much said, in NWA, he's reinvented himself and he really hopes to get an opportunity someday in AEW, TNA wrestling, or, especially the WWE.
He wants to go home, man. And honestly,
So
I would
Ben,
rather see him in WWE.
Would you like to see Chris Masters back on your TV?
WWE. Rumble. 100%. He's a free agent now. So Rumble. 100. I feel like that would be really sick. And it would also be really sick seeing him and Carlito lock eyes in the ring and kind of work together at first and then they kind of turn on each other. That'd be some fucking nostalgia. That would be also a sick opportunity to put over some other young guys as well in the fucking tag team division. Because again, they were a solid tag team for many years. I think it would be really, really cool. And I think he would fit really well with the performers that we have and the style that they go in. And again, to see somebody that was huge in our childhoods come back and really steal the show again. Absolutely. I feel like that he deserves another big opportunity again. He's built for it. Again, he's been away long enough. So I feel like he should get some, I would like to see him with an Intercontinental title, if you know what I mean. So that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's the problem. WWE, they have such a stacked roster right now.
I think he would fit.
I feel like we need to get some more championships in WWE at this point.
Dude, but either or, I think he would fit in WWE. I think out of all of those options, WWE would be the best for him.
Yeah, no, I definitely have.
We've all seen the famous "Take Me With You" fucking video. We've all seen it. We've all seen it when he's on the tour bus traveling, the WWE tour bus pass, and he's like, "Take me with you."
And that's the thing about Chris Masters. I was always a fan of his work,
I
even when
like
I was a
Chris.
kid and he was a heel. And when you're a kid,
The
like you're
Master
not
Lock
looking at
Challenge was the best,
you're
bro.
never it's obviously the best, but like you're not looking at wrestling from the inside. And I always enjoyed Chris Masters.
Mhm.
Like with the whole Master Lock, they made that, finisher very prestigious. The whole Master Lock challenge.
That
Somebody I
shit
might
was
have to put
nuts.
over, in one of our
Chris
getting put
Masters,
over
yeah.
segments pretty damn soon. But honestly, it would be so cool to see him come home to WWE, even if it's, just for a Royal Rumble surprise. I think that, you would surprise a lot of fans by having him, show up. And I think that, under Triple H, these Royal Rumbles, they're going to get better with surprises. And I can't wait. Which I do want to let all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs know. There will not be topics on surprise entrance for the Royal Rumble because those are the those are the articles that I do not click on. I do not pay any attention to because I want to be surprised because just like I'm a maniac. I love watching this. So that's like the only time I will ever skip, reports is when, there's surprise speculations.
Yeah.
But Chris Masters, I do think WWE is definitely the best, option for him. And AEW, he's just going to end up on Rampage.
Yeah, no,
we
I don't
want
want
that. TNA, like, they need to start focusing on building their own stars.
I'm getting
I don't think they
a
need
TV
Chris
deal.
Masters.
That's their biggest thing.
Well, then TNA right now, they got a lot of people, going on the streaming platforms and subscribing to this TNA Plus.
Shit, nice.
So TNA right now, man, they're doing everything right, but they do
Let 'em
have
cook.
one of the guys that, I do think they signed because he is wrestling in a big match against Josh Alexander is Alex Hammerstone. So I don't think we need like a Chris Masters, in TNA. I think,
Yeah.
they got that with Alex Hammerstone, who, is still a young star, and that's what TNA needs to focus on.
Okay.
WWE, it makes the perfect sense because
He's
I
got a
think
lot of history.
NXT, man, they should start bringing in, some former WWE stars like Chris Masters because this would be a great way to put over some of, your young stars. And then eventually, you could bring them up to the main roster and have them put other people over.
Yeah.
But man, I would love to see Chris Masters come back. And I think that, it is a real possibility because he's not one of those former WWE guys who, has been sitting at home doing nothing. He's been, busting his ass all over the indies and, even with NWA the past couple of years, he's, has put on great matches and he still has the physique. Obviously not like his first run because he's not doing the roids, but it would be cool to see him just for nostalgia purposes.
Yeah.
But moving on now to the next topic we have here for our, weekly news and rumors. Massive AEW All-In fight details. And I can't believe we're actually getting some details on this because a lot of people, we all know they signed NDAs where they can't talk about it. But apparently somebody that didn't sign an NDA, rapper DJ Woe Kid, was backstage at AEW All-In in Wembley. He was there to perform during, Swerve's entrance. While speaking on the Jim and Sam show on Sirius XM, he stated that CM Punk was going ballistic because at the event, and there was lots of blood during the scuffle with Jack Perry. He confirmed that there was a huge brawl and that the big Hawaiian-looking dude, which I think we all know he's talking about Samoa Joe, was trying to break it up. Kid says Tony Khan was screaming at Punk, saying something about him ruining this moment for everyone and to get the fuck out there and wrestle. What's your thoughts on, these allegations from rapper DJ Woe Kid?
I believe it. Like, Punk was going to bat for somebody's safety, and of course, Tony Khan's like, get the fuck out in there and wrestle. What am I paying you for? Rather than being actually like, dude, he just broke a legitimate fucking rule. That's real fucking glass, dude. You should not be having a spot like that. And the fact that you allowed that shit in the arena is nuts. like that already shows that you don't care for your fucking wrestler's safety. I mean, look at fucking what happened to Ray Phoenix. Like that alone, like you should have known that that could have gone fucking wrong. Like you should have known. There's a lot of questionable shit, like letting Danielson wrestle with a broken in half fucking arm. Like, yeah, Danielson's a pro and, he can do whatever he can do, but that's still somebody's safety. That's still risking somebody's fucking, well-being. There's a lot of shit that's questionable about Tony Khan, man. And that's another reason why I'm like, I can't respect them. I can't allow myself to really get invested in the product when it's ran by a fucking goon. So I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
And that's the thing, like, these reports, I have to believe
I
these,
believe them, man.
Because why would DJ Woe Kid lie
ruining it for everybody? Like, what?
Like, why would he lie about, like, something that he saw happen at All In? Like, what is he getting from this? He's just doing an interview. He's answering a question, and he's just being genuine and honest.
Because Tony's the one that's always like, "Oh, I can't talk about this. Oh, I can't talk about that. Oh, I can't. I'm not at liberty to speak about this." Oh, it's like you just don't want to fucking say anything because you don't want to come out to be an asshole.
Case.
And that's the thing.
Never helps
Vince,
his case when he just walks around in
Vince,
circles.
unlike Tony, Vince even fucking took accountability for his shit. Tony
Vince
doesn't
give a fuck.
He's like, all right, yeah, I did it. How much you want? Like, at least Vince comes clean about his fuckery, where Tony Khan is literally a spineless fucking maggot. So I can't respond. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, even with, the whole Chris Jericho allegations, when he was asked about it, during the media scrum after
Safest
World's End,
environment, my ass. All right, give it.
he just walked around in circles about the safety and well-being. It's like, just be like, you're not helping Jericho at all by just not saying anything. And you're just making your product look worse in that situation. But back to this, it all makes sense because CM Punk, obviously was very frustrated with the lack of communication going into
that and the safety, dude. It's fucking, dude, Hook could have gotten hurt, bro. Like, he could have gotten big.
Well, no, the part that triggered CM Punk was Jack Perry looking at the camera, smacking the glass, saying, "This is real glass." Pretty much, going into business for himself. And if CM Punk did that, obviously he would get a lot of hate, a lot of criticism, because he felt like the locker room was against him, which they were. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but Jungle Bitch had it coming.
He did.
He deserved to get lots of blood. And I'm glad that he got lots of blood for what he did, because he went into business for himself. And CM Punk, I'm glad that, him and Tony Khan, they went their separate ways. I'm glad that, CM Punk is back home in WWE now. He's not dealing with children anymore. Mm-hmm. And in this situation, like with the all-out media scrum that happened, I did blame CM Punk for, poking the bear, because he did go into business for himself. But in this situation with Jack Perry, he did it. CM Punk is not at fault here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I think that, kudos to Samoa Joe for being a leader in this situation. I guess, he was trying to break up the fight throughout. So, you got to give, credit to him for that. But very interesting details we got.
Yeah.
And probably the only details we're going to get, because everybody else, I think, signed NDAs. So no Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Yep.
But moving on now to a WWE topic now for, the weekly recap with the news and the rumors. Recently, WWE moved Michael Cole back to Monday Night Raw. According to PW Insider, some in WWE are watching to see how Kevin Patrick does on SmackDown without Cole steering the ship. There's a feeling in some circles that Patrick really needs to step up as, a commentator in the months ahead if he wants to maintain his position. What's your thoughts on Kevin Patrick's commentary, and how can he improve? I
think his commentary is fine. This is going to sound like hella ignorant, but I honestly don't care. I really don't care. Like, commentators have been my least worry about a show, because in my opinion, everybody that's really came through has killed it. I think that Kevin Patrick should probably stay backstage doing like the backstage segment interviews and shit like that. I don't think he's built for, show commentating. Like, I think, stick to like bigger stars like, Pat McAfee. Corey Graves has been doing a good job. Wade Barrett's great. I loved Samoa Joe when he was on commentary. I love CM Punk on commentary. I love JBL on commentary. So for me, it's a dime a dozen. I think that they're trying to weirdly find this new face of commentary because I know that Michael Cole is going to be on his way out soon, and I think that's what they're gearing up for. I know that they're not going to say it; they're beating around the bush, but I think that he's going to be retiring, going very part-time soon as well. I think he'll only be back for premium live events here and there, and have more of a scattered schedule, just kind of like Jerry the King Lawler. I think. Honestly, again, they should probably just bring somebody else in that would probably do it better. Just because I don't think he's made for it, and that's okay. I'm not trashing him. I just don't think it's a good fit for him.
Yeah, and I think honestly, like, you definitely said it best. Like, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that, Kevin Patrick, I don't want the man to go unemployed because obviously,
Same.
everybody deserves to, get paid, have a roof over their head, have food on the table.
For sure.
But he's not the best when it comes to, color commentary, and that's okay. But I think
You have to have a decorative voice.
But this is the problem I have now, especially with these reports coming out. Like, WWE is putting a lot of pressure on this guy who, is trying to, improve. And I think that them putting this out there is not going to help him whatsoever.
It's not. It's just damaging him, and that could damage and put a lot of anxiety on your psyche and your mental. So it's a lot of pressure.
Like, I
But
get
then
it.
again,
they are
it's
trying to
WWE,
find,
bro.
and I get it. They're trying to find, the next, Michael Cole.
Corey Graves is the
And-
closest thing that's been, the newest and the youngest guy that's really been killing it, other than Pat, and hopefully Pat comes back soon.
Yeah, but I think what WWE is trying to look for is, a straight up, color commentary guy that, isn't a wrestler. Because, of course, before Michael Cole, there was Jim Ross. And Jim Ross, didn't have an in-ring career. He was always, doing the color commentary. So I think that's like what they're trying to look for. Maybe why, Corey Graves, isn't going to be the next Michael Cole. But at the same time, you're putting a lot of pressure on this guy who, fans have been criticizing his, work for the past couple of years. I just don't get it. Like, why don't you just, move on? Like, let him, do something backstage, let him do something new, and give somebody else an opportunity.
Honestly, if there's anybody that I would love to see on commentary, and it is a past wrestler, but if there's one person I want to see on commentary, it's William Regal.
Dude,
That's one person I want to see on commentary is Regal.
that would be pretty good.
Because he knows
And
the
he
ins
did-
and outs
he
of the
did that
sport. So
I remember, because that's the thing. Like, when I was younger, when FCW was going on before NXT, I would watch a lot of, the FCW shows on YouTube, and William Regal did a lot of color commentary over there, and he's always been very good, doing that. So I wouldn't mind that at all.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I think, if there is somebody that I kind of want to see get a shot at, being a color commentator, I think that the host for WWE The Bump, Matt Camp, I think that he could do a really good job doing that. And I think they should, consider, shifting, some things over, and hopefully Kevin Patrick, doesn't fold. I hope that, he does get better because, always got to wish for the best. And I don't like that these reports came out. I don't.
Yeah.
Moving on now to our next topic here. We have an update from MJF's injury. According to the Wrestler Observer newsletter, Meltzer noted that he's hoping to have it healed through rehab rather than surgery because surgery would put him out for months, and he was told perhaps close to a year, which he wants to avoid. Should MJF get the surgery or rehab the shoulder?
just get the fucking surgery. Are we really talking about this right now? This is somebody's well-being, dude. I don't give a fuck how long you're out. Just get the surgery, become the best version of yourself that you can bring back so you can prevent being on the shelf even longer and prolonging the situation. We're really talking about this. This is what I'm talking about. It's fucking stupid. Like wrestling in the AEW world is just nonsense to me. Like, whenever someone gets injured, to get the fucking surgery. Like, I think Seth's fucking stupid for not getting his back shit straightened out. Back shit could come back to haunt you for life, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, these people need to stop being fucking stupid, stop thinking about their goddamn momentum, because if you can believe that you are a big star, you taking time off to get a fucking surgery to fix yourself, you're going to be red hot when you come back, dude. That pop is going to be huge. Your storylines are going to be huge. Your opportunities are going to be huge. Let it cook, take the time off, and be fucking safe. This is the reason why people are retiring fucking early, is because they're fucking stupid. That's what I'm saying. Just let him take the surgery, rehab it after, let it heal properly, train the right way, then come back when you're good. We'll still be here when you get back.
Yeah, and I feel like, for MJF, he's very young.
Stupid.
So I feel like, he should be, getting the surgery. But obviously, at the end of the day, it's his choice. And especially with all the new, rehabs and, the whole, new technology that we do have in our hands now. Like, I understand that some wrestlers, they want to avoid the surgery, but at the same time, like,
You're not going to be performing at the level where you're happy, and then you're just going to be in pain all the fucking time, and that's what leads to addiction.
exactly. And we're in 2024 now. We're not in the 80s. We're not in the 90s. And, MJF is very talented where if, he wasn't on, like, if he's not on TV for a little while and he comes back, he's going to get that massive pop. And I think what he's thinking about
Precisely.
is the Adam Cole storyline. And I think Adam Cole's thinking the same thing with MJF as well, which I'm glad, Adam Cole did go get the surgery. But what they don't realize, both of these guys, and I'm very surprised that they don't realize this, by the time that we get this match, because of, the both of their injuries, the fans, interest level is not going to be there. That's why they just need to just move on from it. MJF, go get the surgery because you're young.
Maybe take this time to build your fucking stars. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. And I think there's nothing else really to say about that. I think you really hit the nail on the head on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, Ben, when you're pissed off and you're not happy, you really do give
logical.
us the best knowledge here on We Are Wrestling.
Because
we appreciate
it's fucking
you.
common sense, man. It's common sense. Like, why wouldn't you want to get that surgery, man? Especially if you can afford it. Why the fuck aren't you doing it? You're just gonna make problems for yourself down the line. And
the
we
shoulder
see how this
is
ends.
a very
It's vital.
important. It's
vital.
very important to have, healthy as a wrestler, taking those bumps. But
Yes.
moving on now to our last We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. Vice TV has renewed Dark Side of the Ring for its 5th season. The current plans is for it to debut in March 2024, which right now we don't know what the episodes are going to be for season 5. When we get there, we will cover it. But Ben, I got to ask you, what's one episode you would like to see them cover for this season of Dark
Chris Benoit.
Side? Well, they already did that.
Oh, I don't fucking know then. Shit. I don't fucking know then. I did everything that I've wanted to know is basically out there. There's nothing really dark happening. If there's another thing, then shit, I'm just curious as what the fucking episodes are going to be because that's news to me. Shit. Dude, there's really not much that I could be like, all right, what's the scoop on certain shady, like, okay, maybe Vince's scandals. Like, I could go for some Vince scandals, I guess, and like seeing what the details of those things happen. But other than that, I don't know what else to, really think about. Maybe what get some answers to why Stephanie left. I don't know, maybe, but that's the most I can really pull out because there isn't really dark shit happening.
Yeah, and it is very hard to really go back into.
And with the amount of fucking NDAs that are out there right now, we're not going to get great juicy content. So
yeah, no all in media, no all out media scrum.
exactly.
No,
So I don't
all
know.
in Jungle Boy CM Punk fight.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
taking
Man.
away the fun.
Yeah, there's no juiciness. So I'm probably just gonna have to wait and see what the fuck they're gonna come out with because whatever they come out with, news to me.
I will say one episode that I kind of would be interested in watching. I feel like it'd be a good episode. Like, I really hope that we do get a Crash Holly episode.
Sure.
Because he was one of those guys in the Attitude Era that I really enjoyed, especially with the 24/7, hardcore championship. I feel like, really getting a deeper look into his career and, the highs and the lows. I feel like Dark Side of the Ring, that would be a really good episode.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to wait and see because obviously they will be announcing, these upcoming episodes pretty soon. And I'm very excited to see what they have in store. I do think that, Dark Side of the Ring is a really good show. And, even though it covers a lot of, the dark side of it, it also, sheds light on, other people. And it even gives, closure to some of those, people that dealt with some of, the things that happened.
Yeah.
But up next, we have the Getting Put Over segment. And of course, we have the main event topic for the We Are Wrestling Podcast, episode 91. We'll be right back with more We Are Wrestling.
Crack-a-lackin', everybody. WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather here. And you're listening to, that's right, you are listening to We Are Wrestling Podcast. Check them out, man. Stay on that smoke train.
You want additional content? Follow us on Patreon. We Are Wrestling.
What is up, We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide? I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie, here with the Load Rager, Ben. And We Are Wrestling is joining Patreon in 2024.
3 tiers that are very affordable, and you can get your hands on them right now, with the first one being the Maniac tier, which is the $3 tier. It includes all videos ad-free. We give you a shout out on the We Are Wrestling podcast, early uploads to vlogs and hot takes. Great one. Your name will also be featured on a Patreon graphic in the credits, and you get access to vote on future content.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ben from We Are Wrestling, and make sure that you guys join the We Are Wrestling Patreon.
We Are Wrestling Main Eventer tier, which is only $5 a month. And some of the perks you get for, being a main eventer is 2 bonus podcasts a month. 2! Not 1, 2! And you also get 1 throwback wrestling vlog a month. The host with the most, best one, Donnie, myself, I keep you posted with Donald is the best one news with behind the scenes stuff going on in We Are Wrestling once a week. You get exclusive Patreon only series that include We Are Wrestling Old School versus New School and Holy Impact podcast. And of course, you get all the perks from the previous tier. If you want to go the extra mile and you want to help We Are Wrestling out, go subscribe to the We Are Wrestling Patreon page.
The Hall of Famer tier, which is $10 a month, and this one is a gold mine, and here's why. This is everything that it entails. You get to enter our monthly giveaways. Wrestling figures, autographs, big one. I've seen this dude's mine, and it's a... Yeah. And you also get autographs, memorabilia, etc. Send us a video, ask us any question that you want that'll be featured on whatever podcast you want. Optional. And all the perks from the previous tiers.
For the We Are Wrestling Hall of Famer tier, a We Are Wrestling Maniac can be featured on the We Are Wrestling podcast?
They can be featured on the podcast 100%, man. That is the absolute truth.
We have lots of additional content. What can they get, Ben, on there?
A bunch of different shit that you're gonna have to find out if you fucking subscribe on Patreon, y'all.
You want additional content? Follow us on Patreon. We Are Wrestling.
We're back. And later on tonight, if you're listening to the podcast, Saturday, January 13th, I will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for TNA Hard to Kill. And in a couple weeks, Ben and we are going to be live here on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel for our biggest stream of the year, the WWE Royal Rumble, with lots of our, friends. It's going to be a great time. So, guys, we highly encourage you to, join the watch-alongs. It's the best way to interact with us, and we love, giving back to you guys. So, these streams are going to be lit. But every week here on, the We Are Wrestling podcast, we do this thing called the Getting Put Over segment, where every week, Ben and we alternate. We pick, a past, a present, or a future superstar, and we put them over. last week, Ben, we put over Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And this week, we are going to be putting over somebody that I consider very underrated, who I think, definitely could have done more during his time, in the WWE. We're going to be putting over one half of La Resistance, Rene Dupree. Cafe de Rene.
Let's go. Yeah, man, Rene Dupree, the Frenchest of the French wrestlers. Other than Andre the Giant himself. But the Frenchest of the wrestlers. The French tickler, Rene Dupree.
The French tickler. Ben, you should get off on your chair and do the French tickler. There you go. Done. Done.
Yeah,
oh,
boy.
Man. So
let me hold up. Let me go get Fifi real quick.
Huh?
Let me go get Fifi real quick. Hold up.
You gotta go get Fifi.
Sorry.
So I do want to talk about some of the accolades that Rene Dupree, had during, his run. He is, a one-time WWE World Tag Team Champion with, Sylvain, part of La Resistance in 2003. And he also was a one-time WWE Tag Team Champion with Suzuki.
Kenzo Suzuki. Yep.
In 2004. And believe it or not, Rene Dupree was the youngest WWE superstar to win a championship at the age of 19 years old. And
Holy
right
shit.
now he is currently signed with Pro Wrestling Noah, which, is, an international promotion right now.
Yeah.
And he's also, does have a successful podcast going on.
Cafe de Rene.
Rene.
Yeah,
and you
dude.
get Paul London on there, and you get a lot of awesome guests.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I gotta say, man, for me, like Rene Dupree, he was always somebody that I felt was so underrated. Like,
yeah,
they would try to give him opportunities, but it felt like the timing was just always off.
That's what happens when you put somebody that young under pressure, so much pressure, it can work or it can not work out, but unfortunately back then you don't have the outlets that you do now. You didn't have an NXT, you didn't have really a performance center that was pumping like that, but it was different.
But he was only there for like a year before he got called up.
Yeah, and that's that could
Not
be
enough
set up for
time.
failure. I mean, look at what happened to Drew McIntyre, and I would love to see Rene Dupree wrestle in WWE now. He's a different machine now. He's got the grit, he's got the callus now, he's got the age behind him and the experience. He's been around the world. He's definitely he could definitely fucking use his speaking skills for his promo work. The dude could have it all right now if he fucking joined WWE. He'd be fucking on top of the world right now. I feel like he would really
I think he
fit.
burnt those bridges already with his podcast.
I think so too, but at the same time,
But hey, it's successful right now,
dude.
man.
Never say never. After CM Punk, dude, I could see anything happening, But at the same time, I think it was one of those shitty situations, that just didn't work out. And I really do enjoy his work. I think that he had some really funny segments. I have some moments that I'd like to talk about soon.
Before we get into the moments, I think another thing that really hurt his career a lot too was the locker room. Because obviously during the Ruthless Aggression time, there were, a lot of douchebags in the locker room. And one of the biggest, incidents that happened with Rene during his time in WWE was Bob Holly and the shoot fight.
Biggest fucking asshole on the planet. Like, and they've talked about it on the podcast. London was a part of it. Like, I think people were pissed. Like, dude, he was just a fucking bully. Like, I get being passionate, but there's another thing to have a power trip. And that's why Bob Holly's fucking end of his career was garbage, because it's all fucking karma, bro. Like, he's non-memorable.
Yeah, and also too, Rene, he had issues with, Bubba Ray Dudley too, which is so weird because him and Devon, they get along really well. So there was issues, there as well. But now let's get into, some of the funny segments with Rene.
So I want to talk about his elimination in the 05 Royal Rumble from Chris Jericho, which was so fucking funny. Not even just because the elimination was followed up with the little fucking French tickler dance that Jericho ended up doing. But the funny part about it is when he got thrown out, his trunks ripped, so his ass was just out, and it fucking he smacked the ground, and his ass was just out. And I remember just fucking laughing my ass off because, dude, that had to have been embarrassing walking all the way up up the ramp with your ass just half out and you can't do shit about it. I think when he did the French tickler dance and the Undertaker sat the fuck up was fucking hilarious.
That's a good one. I do have one really good funny segment that I really enjoyed, and it was during when he was a part of La Resistance.
Yeah.
When Stone Cold because Stone Cold was like being a sheriff.
Oh
Because
yeah.
he was like a part of the Raw general manager thing with Eric Bischoff, and he gave Renee a ticket for stepping in Fifi's dog shit.
Yeah, I remember that shit, dude. That was quality shit right there.
Good.
Literally.
Him and The Rock, they also had a really good segment too.
Oh yeah, dude.
And my favorite rivalry for Rene Dupree that, I do want to put over is him versus John Cena. This is, around the time when we got the WWE draft and they, had big plans for Rene. They, separated him from La Resistance. So he went over to the SmackDown brand, got picked, very early. And, his first program was with the United States champion, John Cena. And that's when he debuted the whole Cafe de Rene segment with, Tori Wilson. And, one of my favorite matches has got to be that Rene Dupree versus John Cena, Judgment Day 2004.
Yeah.
And I really felt like, if Cena was not, getting, up there, Rene could have definitely been a really good United States champion as like an anti-hero.
Oh, for sure, dude. And again, there's so many unfortunate missed opportunities with Rene Dupree because again, he was built different. If he was written a little bit more seriously, and they really, kind of put him in, some better booking programs, he would have thrived.
And maybe like gave him a mouthpiece too at that time. I think that could have really helped him.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Because again, he's a very French dude, and at the time, being so young, super fucking French because he hadn't been around the world like he was, at the time. So yeah.
And I will say this too, like I do got to put over Rene Dupree's, French tights at Great American Bash 2004. Such a great heel decision. Because of course, it's, the Patriot, like pay-per-view, red, white, and blue, and Rene, his whole trunks, it was French. He had the red, he had the white, and then he had the blue. And I loved the gear that he had for that.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, even his time in ECW, they brought back La Resistance, and they only had one tag team match, on there. And I guess there was plans that, ECW, they were going to, have their own tag team champions, and La Resistance were going to win the titles. But then, Rene had some demons, and, he went and got some rehab, and then later on got released.
Yeah.
Which, is a very unfortunate because he really did have only a short run over there. Yeah. He was only there for 4 years in the WWE, which is, crazy. But that's the thing. Like, Rene Dupree was able to, leave WWE. He never really signed a big contract after leaving because a lot of the times, former WWE superstars, they'll go to like TNA Wrestling or like New Japan Pro Wrestling or go to like one of the bigger companies. And Rene, he was able to, continue to have a successful, career outside of it, which is always good to see.
Yeah.
But man, anything else about Rene Dupree before we get on to the main event?
Yeah. Get a better webcam. Please clean up your room and zoom it out a little bit and maybe get a ring light. And I think that's it. Other than that, I think he's solid.
I will say his lighting lately has gotten better.
Yeah.
Than before. He went from working with, I think, like 360 camera quality to now working with at least 720.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He still needs to get to that 1080.
Excuse me. Oh, of course. And he definitely needs to get a fucking mic for sure.
Yeah, and I think maybe, get the wallpaper off his walls and maybe get himself some sheetrock.
Yeah.
And some paint. But man, Rene Dupree, such an underrated performer, and so cool to see him, doing this podcast, no restrictions whatsoever. And still wish him nothing but the very best. But this week, we put over Rene Dupree and the French tickler, of course.
Yep.
And,
R.I.P. Fifi.
next week, Ben, you get to pick a superstar that we get to put over.
I do.
Do you want to tell us who it's going to be, or
Next
are we
week,
have to wait?
we're going to be putting over former WWE superstar Paul London.
Finally, we're getting Paul London here.
Underrated as fuck, and there's multiple layers to that dude, and I'm excited to kind of peel the layers to speak. So, yeah, it's going to be
Alrighty, so
exciting.
next week, we are going to be putting over one of Ben's favorite wrestlers, Mr. Paul London, who we will be getting here on the podcast at some point in 2024.
Gotta get mentally ready for that
when
shit.
Ben, is mentally prepared and he gives me the green light. So,
Facts.
with that being said, let's dive into the main event topic for
Here we go.
We Are Wrestling Podcast episode 91. And, guys, I'm gonna, open up the
It's gonna be
curtain a little bit here. And I'm
Okay,
just gonna
baby.
say this. This main event topic, this was all Ben's decision, okay? Because here's what I wanted as our main event topic. I wanted to put over TNA wrestling for, Saturday, because tonight TNA is back and I feel like we need to have a positive main event topic. But Ben, he saw all the regular topics this week and he said to me, "Fuck you, Don. We're going to be doing we're going to be talking about Tony Khan," even though I did a whole episode of Hot Takes, but I had not had a conversation with anybody about this, so I am open to it. So, in case you've been hiding under a rock, Tony Khan, he threw another Twitter meltdown again. And took some shots at, WWE for, giving Jinder Mahal a world championship match next week without earning a title shot. And, he was continuing going back and forth with Eric Bischoff and fans like he's
That's
been
fucking
doing.
nuts. All right,
Ben,
so
lay it out.
like I said, the only reason I
it
wanted to do this, it's going to be short and sweet for me because you already know how I feel. But I wanted to talk about it because I haven't given my actual thoughts. So
Wait, before you do give your thoughts too, if you guys want to hear my thoughts, definitely highly recommend you to go to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel and watch Hot Takes.
That was a very colorful Hot Takes episode.
You did watch it?
I did watch it.
Well, give me your thoughts on that before you give your
You were
thoughts
spot on.
Tony Khan.
You were 1,000% spot on, man. And also, I love the thumbnail. That thumbnail is pure fucking artwork. That belongs in the Met. That needs to be in the fucking Louvre Museum, on a fucking displayed wall. It is beautiful.
You can thank
man,
AI for that.
100%. Like I said, man, you hit everything on the fucking nail. Tony Khan, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, of people that are fucking watching. You got promoters, you got partners watching, and you're acting like a fucking child on social media. It's like he's taking advantage of the new kind of culture that we're at, where it's freedom of speech and all this bullshit. And you cannot be doing this when you are a CEO of not even just a wrestling promotion and a very semi-successful, fucking wrestling promotion. And you're also the owner of or co-owner of the fucking the fucking football team, the Jaguars, the Jacksonville
Jaguars.
So
and a soccer team too.
That's what I'm saying. So it's you can't be doing this. You cannot be fucking doing this, man. And it's everything that WWE does now. Tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet. Where does this benefit you, your company, your staff, your wrestlers, your credibility, your legacy? What does this credit you? You're just painting yourself out to be a more and more immature, inexperienced asshole who needs to fucking go to timeout. This is so ridiculous, dude. There's no growth in this man. It's we've been going on just a steady decline, bro. Ever since fucking All In, we've just been going to fucking steady ass decline, and he is going to be the burial of his own company. He himself, just by doing something as small as this, bro. And to go out and talk shit about the whole Jinder Mahal thing, yeah, it's random as fuck, but when have you made a great booking decision recently? Other than Edge and Christian, which we knew was going to happen.
So here is, some of the things that
Childish.
people have been telling Tony Khan. and I'll kind of keep you in the loop here. So one of the fans, they criticized Tony Khan and they said, didn't you give Abaddon, who's off of TV for over a
Yeah,
year
I
with
saw
an
that.
ACL injury,
And I saw his follow-up.
title shot? And then pretty much,
He's like, she
that's the
earned it.
problem. And like even myself on, the latest episode of Hot Takes, I even made a perfect example because Cody Rhodes, he was doing these open challenges for the TNT Championship. Eddie Kingston and Ricky Starks both, it accepted the open challenge despite not having a single match in AEW. Yet they didn't earn their title shot. But
He's stupid.
And that's the thing, like, there's always going to be those times where, Triple H, he's going to do lazy booking. There's going to be times Vince does it. There's going to be times Tony Khan does it. They all do it. And, man,
it feels like Tony Khan does it weekly, though.
And it's, the thing is, like, this generation, I'm just, like, thinking back to all this stuff that happened this week. And, man, these wrestling fans need to really get their panties out of a fucking bunch. Because right now, like, what a time to be a pro wrestling fan. And, like, if you're not enjoying any of this, entertainment, like, I'm not enjoying the whole Tony Khan stuff because he is, fucking up his company. But if you're not enjoying
single-handedly,
like, if you're not enjoying, like, Jinder Mahal taking shots at Hook and then deleting it later on, then, like, come on, man, you got to have fun sometimes.
Absolutely.
And, man, like, it makes me really sad because, Ben, you know this, since day one, that very first press conference, I even remember watching that episode of Being the Elite when they showed the logo for AEW.
Yeah.
Tony Khan saying that we're going to listen to the people, and this is what we're getting. What Tony Khan needs to do is what Matt Morgan said, in his video on Twitter. He needs to hire a booker. And just like Eric Bischoff said, Tony Khan is not a booker. He's a matchmaker.
Absolutely.
That's pretty much all he's doing. It's pretty much like Phil even said on, Old School versus New School. Pretty much like this is his fig fed, but real life.
Mm-hmm.
Real life. These are his action figures. And when they get dusty and he doesn't want to play with them anymore, he just leaves them on the shelf to collect dust, aka the Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's fucking constant. They just
and they have the
I don't
talent.
know, man. I don't know, man. Like I said, we have been slowly witnessing the death of AEW, man. And like I said, it's inevitable at this point with this leadership and everything going on. He's going to be the reason why it all crumbles one day. It's not going to last 50 years like WWE. Eventually, it's going to get smaller and smaller.
And it's not the talent.
It's
he
fucking
has
Tony.
One of the most stacked fucking rosters.
But he doesn't know what to do with them.
He doesn't know what to do with them. And then he's going on Twitter, and this is not helping his company. It's just, making more people not want to watch it. And even yourself, you were about to give AEW a legitimate shot.
And now I won't do it at all.
And now you won't do it at all. And I can't convince you to because you have legitimate, logical reasons why you should not watch AEW because of this childish bullshit.
Yep.
Because I remember back in the day, myself and Danny, we, kept poking you and bothering you to watch AEW. Mm-hmm. But now,
it's bullshit, man.
You have a solid reason not to.
I can't, dude. I can't do it. It's just like when the CEO himself is going out on a limb to give me reasons to not watch your product. It's just, what's the point? It's just, I'm not going to go out of my way to find ways to do it and then try to enjoy it because it's just so tainted with just the stains of toxicity all over because it's ran by fucking children.
So I do got to ask you this question.
Best in the world. What's up?
So with Tony Khan's tweet, with the allegations, pretty much, talking about how Hook, is 28-1. Jinder, hasn't, been on television in, over a year. Hasn't had a match in over a year. I got to ask you, do you think Tony Khan, obviously we both agree that, he shouldn't be on Twitter, saying all this stuff,
Yep.
but do you think he's wrong with what he's saying?
I don't think he's wrong, but lead by example and not your fucking tantrums. Like, do something better to explain why you are the alternative company. Not fucking go on Twitter and trash the other company who's been around 15 years that could do one thing and fucking take your ass out in one foul swoop. Don't give your competition a reason to stomp you the fuck out. That's rule number one. Make it a place that you can really say that we are the better brand if that's what you believe in. If you think that this is such a great place, show it. You are not the spokesperson of a place that is claimed to be so fucking great because half your roster wants out of the fucking company because they feel like a ghost.
And
Make better decisions, Tony.
And that's the thing.
Make better decisions, you fucking
If
mark.
Tony Khan wasn't a CEO of AEW, then by all means, you can go on your rants. You can go on your tantrums. He's not wrong with what he's saying.
No.
It's the fact that you are the leader.
Be humble. Be humble. Don't say shit.
You are the leader. You should be, focusing on rebuilding your product that has, declined with attendance,
My dog.
with ratings.
My dog.
It's,
we saw how hot they were at one point, man. AEW was
like
on
beating
fire.
A dead horse.
It really is. Like I said, look at Once Upon a Time. They were on fire. They were the brand for a long time, and I really thought WWE was dead in the water. And then out of nowhere, you let the power get to your head, and you fucked it all up. And then thank God the blessed hands that be gave us a fucking out with WWE and put Triple H in charge and got Vince the fuck out of there. And oh my God, we've been eating for days for the last year, dude, when it comes to WWE product. So Tony has let that get to him. He let that personally get to him, and look at what's happened. He is bombing and nuking his own product and setting it on fucking fire.
Exactly, and I think it all started Cody Rhodes, man, WrestleMania. That's when it all started, when he came back to WWE.
It was at the end. That was it. That was the beginning of the end.
And now CM Punk is coming back to redeem his story, which, it's crazy because like in older past episodes of the podcast, even myself, I kept saying, because I know you were very frustrated at the time with CM Punk. You didn't want him anywhere near WWE. And I remember saying to you that,
and I will take that L.
And that's the thing. Like I said, CM Punk, if he wants to fix his reputation, he needs to come home. He needs to end his career the right way. And look at what he's doing now.
Yeah. And again, I applaud him. But again, that's all I got to say about good old boy Tony.
And I want, AEW to succeed. I want WWE to succeed. I want all of these promotions to succeed because the more wrestling there is, the better for us. Yeah. And, with AEW, I really hope, some things change. I'm losing hope every single day, and it does make me really sad. I'm still going to be watching the product, obviously, because at the end of the day, I do love me some AEW. I just don't like Tony Khan. That's the issue that I have. Like, I don't like when he goes on these Twitter meltdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But, I still love the talent, and, I'm still going to go and, support them. And they're still putting on, solid shows. I just wish that they would change things, just like in WWE. Not everything is perfect. Like every, company out there, there's little critiques that, all of us have.
Yeah.
But, I get it from a lot of, the WWE fans like yourself. Like, why do you want to get invested when, the CEO of, its own company, is pretty much just burying their product? Like, they made Jinder Mahal even bigger now than he was 2 weeks ago. And man, good for Mahal. He gets a big segment with The Rock, and now, he's trending all week long on Twitter because of Tony Khan, and he's getting a World Heavyweight title shot next week. This might be the modern-day Maharaja. He's back, baby.
Yeah.
But the last thing I do got to ask you before, we close off this week's episode, Ben, because we got to end it on a positive note here. So with TNA Wrestling, now that, we're here, TNA Wrestling is back. Do you have any thoughts? Just final thoughts.
Good luck to him.
Alrighty, well said. So,
Good luck to him, man.
guys, we have
Yeah,
lots
I really
of
like it.
What was that?
I said I really like it. The rebranding going back in time, and it feels like the right time. Like you can always feel like that shift in like life where it's like it's time to go back to where it all started, and it feels like the right time for TNA. And I just the hype was unnecessarily real. And it just if the fans are with it, and you get a good reception, it's always the right time to pull the trigger, and they're pulling the trigger on the right time. And again, like you said in the earlier part of the episode with your highlight of the week, those titles are something of a beauty, man. Those are some it's art on a fucking belt, dude. And I'm really, really fucking excited for the future of TNA.
And I gotta ask you too, Ben. Is there a possibility that you might be open to watching TNA since you do have access to Access TV?
I could potentially do you one better.
Ooh, okay.
Potentially. I can potentially do you one better. And I'm going to bribe you.
Oh, goodness. Here we go.
So, and this is going to come out of left field. You're going to be like, what? But if you order me an order of fries, I'll watch fucking Hard to Kill with you in person on Saturday. Because I know you always get pizza, so if you order me a thing of fries, I'll come over and I'll watch it with you.
So, tonight...
You're telling me there's a
you
chance.
will... Hold on. So, tonight, as the podcast comes out, you will teleport from your set over here to watch TNA Hard to Kill with me if I give you fries.
That's all I requested, yeah.
All right, and like in all seriousness now with like kayfabe, like you're actually free to come watch Hard to Kill?
I'm breaking kayfabe, yeah. I'm free to watch Hard to Kill.
All right, guess what? You're getting yourself some fucking french fries and you're fucking coming over here. You want McDonald's fries? You want Wendy fries or Burger King fries? Or you just want pizza fries from wherever I get the pizza? I got you.
You got me with a meal from Burger King?
Because because you do need to watch 2 wrestling shows, and WWE is one of them. And since AEW is kind of burying themselves, give TNA a shot.
If you get me some food in general, if you get me some food on fucking Saturday, if you just cover some food, I got you. I'll come over and I'll watch it.
All right, so guys, Ben will be joining the watch along. Let's hope nothing changes 2 days from now as we're recording this.
Yep, nothing will change.
I am surprised. And now this is a great way to end this week's episode of the podcast because we're both smiling, we're laughing, we're talking about good stuff because this week there's been a lot of negative. TNA is here to save us. That's why, this is all happening.
And the thing is, I'm curious too. I'm curious too. If it's worth it, because I have access to Access TV. So if it's worth it, it's another show for me to watch. So you know what? I'm on board. I'll fucking take the chance.
Hell fucking yeah.
And we got names over there. I get to go see Trinity. I get to see some other people. So let's go. I'm with it.
Yeah, you get to see Santino Marella.
Hell fucking yeah, dude. I love me some Santino. I love me some Santino, man.
So to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there, with our YouTube page, we've been posting lots of videos. We have all new reactions from this week. Also, we have the TNA Hard to Kill predictions. New episode of Hot Takes where, I dived more into the Tony Khan bullshit drama. And, of course, we do have the live watch-along for TNA Hard to Kill. Later on tonight, if you're listening to this on Saturday, January 13th, we'll be live on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel for it. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, let us know in the comment section below your thoughts on all the topics that we covered this week. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episode. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already over on the YouTube channel, where we're doing predictions, we're doing different podcasts, we're doing live watch-alongs, and so much awesome content, go subscribe over there. Also, if you want to go the extra mile, We Are Wrestling, we are on Patreon now. You get all the videos ad-free, and, you do get exclusive Patreon-only series. Old School versus New School will be coming out next week. The first episode with Phil and I. Lots of awesome things. And if you become a member, you have a chance at the WWE Elite 106 Jey Uso figure, brand new. Yeet. So, guys, lots of big things are happening in 2024. But, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Go follow us over on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and, of course, the YouTube page. We're also, posting lots of, wrestling news and stuff over on the socials. So we are, giving you the scoop, and we're keeping you all in the loop. The link's down in the description below. You can go follow Ben and I over on our social medias and other YouTube pages. All that down below. I just posted, on Best One Donnie, the official room tour of my entire studio, which, if you're watching this now, my background has changed since then. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we love each and every one of you. We hope you join the TNA Hard to Kill stream. Ben, I really hope that you do teleport here and watch it with me, because of course you already know we are taking over. Peace.
Peace.